Hey everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another monthly sales recap for the month of May 2021. If you are brand new to my channel, every single month I like to put together a video where I'm going over all of my gross sales for my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store. In these videos, I go over things like gross sales, selling costs, net sales profit, and then I actually take you inside of my eBay store and show you real items that sold for me over the previous month. But in this sales recap video, I want to talk a little bit extra about death piles and how finally getting to a lot of those death piles that I've been avoiding for months and months and months actually amounted to me finding some money. I literally found money in my basement just by tackling my death piles in more ways than one. So if you're a newer seller, you might not exactly understand what this term death pile means in the reseller world. I can't say for sure who exactly coined this phrase, but it's used by resellers quite frequently because there always tends to be mounds of merchandise that we've accumulated that we just kind of shove off to the side because we keep telling ourselves we'll get it listed eventually. But sometimes eventually never comes, and that means that we just have piles upon piles of crap cluttering up our space. But the month of May was a month of tackling those death piles for me because you see, well, there's no easy way to put this, but I just had to deal with them. I couldn't avoid them any longer. And this is why. Because I work out of my house and I don't have a warehouse space for basically hiding all of the stuff I don't want to deal with, I'm forced to confront those items when I'm starting to run out of space, which I am. You see, I received a huge shipment this week. No, I'm not gonna tell you what it is. You're just gonna have to make sure that you are subscribed and have the notification bell rung on my YouTube channel to find out what this massive shipment is. And because of the vast quantity of these items, I desperately needed the shelf space, which meant that I had to tackle some death piles that I have been avoiding. But I did not do it alone. I have my wonderful sister-in-law who helps me list on eBay now. And to be honest, if it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have ever gone through all of these items because this is what they were. I had an entire shelving unit that was full of things like hairstylers, water picks, men's electric razors, and all of them were opened. That meant that they needed to be examined, tested, and each one listed individually because they were all going to be just a little bit different. Because I love selling those kind of items. I love selling hairstylers, water picks, electric toothbrushes, electric razors. I love selling all of that kind of stuff on eBay because it's worth a lot of money. But my pain point is when those boxes have been opened because that means I'm going to have to take some precious time, open each one individually, pull the item out, test it, photograph it, make special notes in the listing if there's just something just a little hair off about it. So the only time I actually enjoy listing these kind of items is when they're brand new in the box and I don't have to open or test anything, which of course none of these were. So they have literally been sitting in boxes or open on shelves for at least a year, if I'm being honest. But the problem was I knew that these held value, so I didn't want to just get rid of them, but it was a really daunting task to try to tackle all of it on my own. So I enlisted my sister-in-law, Angie, to help, and I have to tell you, she has been kicking butt this last month. She's got almost all of them listed, and it actually resulted in literally finding money in my basement. So let me tell you what happened. So when I use the term literally found money in my basement, it's actually literally finding money in my basement in two ways. One, literally finding cash, and two, a lot of those items that ended up getting listed were worth really decent money. And really, when it comes down to it, these death piles are like finding money. Because if you have these death piles and they're just pushed into a corner, it's basically wasted capital because it's likely that you had to pay for these items and they're just sitting there, your capital is tied up, and by the time you finally get around to listing them, it's like you're finding money. So in these death piles, there was a lot of water picks. And none of these water picks, I will just say, none of these water picks came from Wholesale Ninjas because they were all opened and used. You guys hear me talk a lot about Wholesale Ninjas and how much I love sourcing with them, and that's because everything that I get from them is in brand new condition. Nothing is opened or used, and these water picks were opened and used. I actually purchased them from a distributor that would get them directly from Target, meaning they were just returns. They were water picks that people had taken home and brought back. And because water picks, you know, deal with water, there was potential damage, which meant I didn't want to have to deal with them. But lo and behold, one of those water picks actually had cash in the box. Don't know why, couldn't explain it. I don't know if someone slipped some money in there because maybe they didn't have their wallet or they weren't wearing pants with pockets. So imagine my surprise when there's $12 just slipped into this water pick box. And what's even better is, even though that particular water pick, which I'll stick a picture right here, we're gonna look at a lot of the items that sold for me last month. There was multiple of these death pile items. I'll make sure to go over all of them, but it was this water pick in particular that not only had some cold hard cash inside of the open package, but it also sold for over 40 bucks, missing some of the flosser heads. So that right there just goes to show that just because something has been opened and it might not be complete, that it can't sell for really good money. So let this lesson for me also be a lesson for you. Make sure that you're tackling your death piles because they could potentially be worth significantly more than you thought. All right, so enough about that. Let's get into the sales that I was able to achieve in my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store. The total sales for the month of May topped out at $6,248.55, which I have to say is a little crazy because it was almost exactly what it was for the month of April. It was actually a 0.2% increase from the prior month, which is crazy consistent. So I've kind of touched on this a little bit when talking about this eBay store. I really do strive for consistency. That was actually my word for 2021. I told myself I'm going to be more consistent with listing. I'm gonna be more consistent with my entire life schedule, my work schedule, my sales. I want to do everything as consistently as possible because when you sell online, if you run an e-commerce business, a lot of the times sales are like a roller coaster. I know that you guys have probably heard me say that before if you've seen my other monthly sold videos, but sales can be a real roller coaster, and I would much rather have the consistency of knowing approximately what my sales are going to be month to month versus having a really, really high month followed by a really, really low month. That's not really something I like. But now for 2 months in a row, my sales have been crazy consistent. Not even a full 0.25% difference. So now that $6,248.55 is gross sales. There has been money taken out of that in order to leave us net sales and net profit. So let's discuss what those are. So eBay collected $372.33 on my behalf for taxes and government fees. I had a total of $2,509.27 for selling costs, which is actually 40.2% of that gross amount, leaving me with a net sales total of $3,366.95. But we're still not done yet because that net sales total is only taking out things like eBay fees and shipping label costs. It doesn't account for cost of goods. And that's because cost of goods is on my end, not eBay's end. So then from there, I have to deduct that as well. So now my net sales number this month is lower than the month of April, and that's because I had my selling costs actually increase. That could be any number of things, but it is likely because I paid a little bit more for shipping labels. Usually it's shipping labels that accounts for an increase in my seller costs. So now if we scroll down on this sales report, we can actually see a breakdown of what exactly the selling costs were. So if we click down on this little drop arrow, we can see here that in the selling costs, the $2,500 worth of selling costs, $840.74 of that was actually eBay fees. So now we can see here that I did not pay anything in insertion fees, and this is the first month where that has happened, because you see I have the out of stock option turned on in my eBay store, and that means that all of my listings remain active even when there's a zero quantity. Even after I sell an item, that listing still remains active because I want to have the ability to go in and replenish the stock and continue to sell items if I get them in without having to create a brand new listing from scratch every single time. And up until this point, it has cost me some extra money every single month to keep all of these listings active because I have a premium store subscription, which means I only get 1,000 insertion fees every single month waived. So any listings I have over 1,000, I'm having to pay 10 cents for each listing to keep them active. But starting April 1st, eBay increased the amount of insertions that numerous store subscriptions had. A premium store subscription went from 1,000 listings to 10,000, and because I have just under 3,000 active listings, that means I don't have to pay any insertion fees anymore. So for the first time in a really long time, one of these eBay seller updates has actually allowed me to save money. Even though they did increase the final value fee just a little bit, I am still saving hundreds every single month, not having to pay for a bunch of insertion fees. So that increase in final value fee does not bother me one bit. Now I do have a charge here for a $4 optional listing upgrade fee. This is actually something that I brought up in last month's sales recap video. And I have to just be honest and say the fact that I am still paying a $4 listing upgrade fee is my fault. I actually pointed this out in the last monthly sales recap video, that I realized that there was a mistake and I was paying an extra fee, and I just needed to go in and basically bulk revise all of my listings and take off any listing upgrades, and I forgot to do it. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I had forgotten to do it until I looked at the sales report this morning, and that was a big whoopsie. So I've done it already prior to filming this video. So next month, hopefully I don't have that same $4 listing upgrade fee. And that just goes to show that a lack of due diligence and not following through with the task can end up costing you money, because I knew about this in April. There was some mistake. I don't even know what listing it was on, honestly. I just bulk revised everything. I don't know exactly what listing it was, but I'm pretty sure that the $4 listing upgrade fee is either the gallery view or a bold title. I know that the subtitle is $1.50, so I think the bold title is $4, or it might be the gallery upgrade. I'm not exactly sure, but because I dropped the ball and I didn't go in and fix it last month, I ended up having to pay another $4 for this listing upgrade. For the record, I don't ever purposefully do that. I don't think that it's worth the extra money unless you're selling something of a really, really high value and you really need to draw attention to it. Then I paid a total of $778.42 in final value fees. I did end up paying $2.61 for an international fee. I did get a credit of $4.24 if I had to guess. That's because I had an order get canceled, or multiple orders get canceled, and so I had the final value fee credit refunded, or it might have been a shipping label that wasn't used. And then, of course, I have the $59.95 for the monthly subscription fee. Remainder of it is shipping labels for a total of $1,668.53. And that, I believe, is why my selling costs are up 3.1%, because 66.5% is pretty high. Usually it's closer to, you know, around 62% of the selling cost is shipping labels. So I think I just had some more expensive shipping labels this month, maybe because I shipped things that were just a little bit heavier. And then if we scroll down on the sales report page, we can see some of the items that I had larger quantity sell. You know, for instance, this was a part of the death pile shelf were these Revlon Pro Collection hair dryer and volumizers, but these were in color teal. And so they were all the exact same condition, coincidentally. They were just open box and tested. And I do not believe that these were used. There should have been some more somewhere else that were used, but these were just all open box, never used, tested, working. Sold 7 of them very, very quickly for a total of $199.14 worth of sales. And then I did sell a whole bunch of these Proganics Quench Moisturizing Shampoo, lots of 3. So I actually sold multiple lots to the same person. I want to say I sold 1 set to one person and then 5 sets to another for a total of $115.56. I did, I think, completely sell out of these Mickey Mouse plates and bowl and cup sets for a total of $132.24. I sold a lot more of these Durex lubricants, 4 of these Maybelline mascaras, 4 of these Olay Luminous Boost Tone Perfecting Preparation Serum, and then I sold 4 lots of these Vaseline limited edition pink bubbly tins, and then, you know, multiple other things. Now, this report can be very, very helpful for you if you sell a lot of items that are replenishable or items that you can get again or that you have multiple quantities of, because this lets you see at a glance what you're selling the most of over the period that you're looking at. So from this, I could gather that people were really liking these volumizers. So that might tell me that, you know, that's something I need to be on the lookout for. Maybe that's something that I need to try to get more in stock. Or if I'm looking at manifests, if I see these items on a manifest, that might make me more inclined to buy an item like manifest like that, because I know that I have a good history with selling these. So this is just kind of giving a little bit of insight on what your top performers were at a glance. All right, so now since we talked about gross sales, selling costs, and the net sales total that's left over, how much of it am I actually considering a paycheck? So I've talked about this in other sold videos before, and I actually did an entire video talking about how I pay myself. So basically what I do is I pay myself a percentage of that net sales number, and then everything else goes back into the business account to pay for things like cost of goods, my sister-in-law for helping me list, and shipping supplies. So that net sales total was $3,366.95. I've reached the point in my business where I am now paying myself 50% of that total, which means that I basically take my net sales number, I cut it in half, and then I pay myself 1/2, and then the other half goes into my business account to keep the business running. It was not always 50%. It used to be a very, very small amount because I was still working at getting a nice cushion in my business account. I have also made a video talking about how to run a business and keep money in the bank so that you don't put yourself out of business. I will make sure to link that video down in the video description in case you missed it. So I used to just pay myself, 10% or 20%, and I finally reached the point where I can comfortably take 50% of that sales number because I do have other streams of income that's added to that. So this means that for my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store alone, I am paying myself $1,683.47. And then the other $1,683.47 is going back into my business account to pay for the business. Now, this is also going to be changing very, very soon. Just recently, I notified all of you in a live stream that I have decided to incorporate and move on from an LLC, which means that I will be cutting myself a regular paycheck. So I'm not always going to be paying myself from this eBay store this way. I'm hoping that that all changes in the month of June, but for now, that is how much I'm paying myself from this eBay store. So now, because I am tracking the amount of new listings that I've gotten up in my eBay store over the course of this last year, strictly because I set some goals for myself in 2021, and I think that tracking these kind of numbers every single month is helpful to know if I'm going to reach my goal or not, we were able to successfully get up 527 new listings in my eBay store. So that means to date, there are 2,070 new listings in my Beauty in Your Budget eBay store. I had a goal for myself to get up 6,000 new listings this year. That would amount to 500 listings every single month. I did start off the year a little bit behind because I forgot to take into account some other things that I was trying to finish up from the prior year, so I started off the year a little bit behind, but we are 2,070 listings in order to reach our 6,000 listing goal. But honestly, if I could at least hit 5,000 new listings this year, I would be satisfied with that. So now I want to take you into my eBay store and show you real items that sold for me over the month of May, including all of those death pile items that finally got listed and have started selling. But before I take you into my computer, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video. Wholesale Ninjas has partnered with my YouTube channel for over a year and a half now because they are by far my favorite source of inventory for my eBay store. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, one of my favorite things about them is I don't have to worry about open product or getting customer returns and liquidation. They definitely live up to their name. Wholesale Ninjas is the only place that I found to source where I can get wholesale quality product for a liquidation price. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I sell a lot of health and beauty, and a lot of the times those categories are really hit or miss with liquidation companies. Sometimes they don't have a consistent supply. Sometimes their quality control is just not good, but Wholesale Ninja's quality control is always on point. Every time I get a box from them, everything is always beautifully packaged. Everything's not just encased in stickers. I can literally open up the box and just start pulling things out and getting them listed on eBay. There hasn't been any other company that I've sourced with that makes it that easy. Also, Wholesale Ninjas just recently notified me of a couple of changes that they've made that I wanted to clue you guys in on. The first one being a new policy that they have enacted with all of their personal care merchandise is no box is over 50 pounds. One of the last times I got a personal care lot from Wholesale Ninjas, the boxes were really pretty heavy. They were so heavy even my husband said something. So I just simply brought that up and they listened to feedback from myself and other customers, and they have decided to enact a policy that all of the personal care lots will have no boxes weighing more than 50 pounds. So now this does mean that there will be more boxes in an order because they won't be able to fit as much in a box because of weight issues, because a lot of the times personal care products are heavier. But that can also be a good thing because more boxes could mean more diversity in these lots. So I'm actually really excited to get another personal care lot since they've enacted this policy because I want to see how the boxes come now and if there's a little bit more variety. They also let me know that they enacted another policy for the personal care boxes where they will not be including hand sanitizer, face masks, or any sort of hand wipes or antibacterial wipes because they are committed to making sure that every product that arrives in their lots is sellable. And right now, hand sanitizer, face masks, and wipes of any kind are really difficult for sellers to sell right now due to eBay policies being really strict on these kind of items, or just an abundance of these kind of products on the market right now because of the shortage from the pandemic coupled with just an influx of these kind of products hitting the market. Because Wholesale Ninjas is a sponsor of my YouTube channel, I do have a coupon code for them. I actually have 2 coupon codes for them because they are also running a special for the month of June as well. So I have my coupon code that's always available, which is Lindey25, to get you $25 off of anything on the Wholesale Ninjas website. Wholesale Ninjas is running a June special, which means I have a special coupon code that is just available for the month of June. It expires on June 30th. The code is LindeyJune. I will also put it down in the video description, and it is for 5% off of all cosmetics and free shipping. Free shipping on all of their cosmetics lots, plus 5% off. That is a fantastic deal for June. So thank you again to Wholesale Ninjas for partnering with me yet again, sponsoring today's sold video, and providing us with a special code just for the month of June so we can save some big money on cosmetics. All right, let's head on over into my computer and take a look at all of the items that sold for me over the month of May. So going back here to the last day of May, we're starting off with some water picks, so we're a part of those death piles. So a couple of the water picks were the exact same condition. They were just open box and they had some heads missing. So for instance, this one was missing all of the tips, and this one was missing 2 of the 6 tips included. So they were discounted based on the value of not having all of the pieces. So this one was a smaller one that was completely missing the tips, but the system itself was functioning just fine. I ended up accepting a $30 offer on that one. This one here was the one that had the cash in it, and it sold for $40.46. Then I also sold a couple of Milani Prep facial oils for $13.23. Replenished the stock and sold 2 more of these Burt's Bees lip balm. They were sets of 3 4-packs, so a total of 12 sticks, sold for $18.38 on each one. 3 bottles of Vera Wang Embrace Body Mist. It was the green tea and pear blossom, sold for $20.13. I have completely sold out of these Neutrogena body oils. I was really surprised by that. They all sold pretty quickly for $13.78. So these Nexus Salon hair creams, these are the Pro Men Split End Curl Defining Cream Gel. So someone bought 3 of them for $124.14, and I actually still have 8 available. These ended up hiding in a death pile box somewhere. Go figure. They're actually worth really, really decent money. I'm pretty sure it's because those are discontinued. Completely sold out of those Vaseline limited edition pink bubbly lip balm tins. Sold lots of 5 for $13.78. I have 1 left of this Yes to Blueberries Daily Repairing Moisturizer. So someone bought 2 of them for a small discount of $35.48. So this was something else I was really surprised to see the value of. This Yes to Blueberries, I had the facial moisturizer, the repairing cream, and the eye cream. I was really shocked at how much money those sold for. I thought that they were gonna be like 10 bucks, and they were actually worth a lot more than that. Here's another death pile item. It's a Kristen S Ceramic 3-in-1 flat iron, sold on best offer for $42. Here's another one of those kind of items. It's a Revlon Perfect Heat, Perfect Style volumizing brush, and it sold for $23.50. So here's some more death pile stuff. I ended up going ahead and listing a couple of toys that I had that were in a bin. I had set them aside to try to sell them for Christmas, and they didn't sell. And so they were just kind of sitting on the shelf, and we finally got those listed. There are these Zuru Smashers, so a set of 2 packages sold for $14.24. Only have 1 lot left of these Durex lubricants, so they've all pretty much sold out. There's another water pick, same kind of thing here. It was missing I think just 1 tip. Sold on best offer for $33. So some of these are definitely worth more than others. A lot of 3 Wet n Wild eye pencils. Sold for $13.79. Scroll down. Here's another death pile item. I actually still have 10 of these available. It's the Revlon Pro Collection Silicone Styling Brush. It's kind of like those volumizers. It's like a rounded hairbrush and then heat comes out of it, but this is the silicone styling brush. It's a 1-inch and sold for $18.38. Someone bought my last 2 lots of these Head & Shoulders Instant Relief Scalp Soother treatments. So they bought the last 2 for a total of $31.42. Here's another death pile item, Kristen S 2-inch soft bend curling iron, sold for $39. Hearth and Hand Taupe Twin Quilt. So this was actually one of the quilts that was in the Wholesale Ninjas Target Master Case palette that I just recently unboxed on my channel with my husband. So I did end up putting up a lot of those blankets and quilts because I realized, you know, I have the boxes to ship it. I'm just charging the shipping to the buyer to make sure that I don't have to eat too much in shipping costs. And I actually just got a whole bunch of bulk items that I plan to list on Facebook Marketplace. And so I don't want to overwhelm myself with too much to list on Facebook Marketplace right now, which if you're curious to know what those bulk items were, there will be a unboxing on my channel here coming up very, very soon. So make sure you're subscribed. But from Wholesale Ninjas, I like to get those big Target bulk palettes that has the really large things on there, like the accent chairs, and the big things like the vacuum cleaners and the tables, the big things that I like to put on Facebook Marketplace. So we went ahead and listed a lot of these blankets because they were already in a box on eBay, and one of them sold for $27.49 plus shipping. So the buyer paid a total of $44.11. A lot of 3 Pixie Retinol Serum sold for $20 on best offer. A lot of 2 sock pair, or not 2 sock pairs, but a lot of 2 sets of socks, so 12 pairs total, sold for $11 on best offer. Thermos cooler, it's a 9-can tote, sold on best offer for $10. Here's another death pile item. It's an Infinity Pro by Conair Curl Secret 2.0 curling wand, sold for $28 on best offer. There's still 1 left. Let's see, I'm gonna kind of scroll through. I really wanna focus on those death pile items because a lot of the other stuff you guys have seen before, so I wanna focus on those death pile items so you could see how silly I was just to leave these items sitting on the shelf for a year. So here's another water pick sold for $30.88. Yeah, so I think from here on out, everything is gonna be the death pile stuff. I'm just gonna point those out. The Remington 1-inch anti-static flat iron sold for $22.48. This was a death pile item. It was a Bo Dallas Mattel wrestling action figure, sold on best offer for $19.99. Let's see here. Let me scroll. Oh, I found this, another Threshold floral king size bed sheet, sold for $29.34 plus shipping. So the buyer paid a total of $47.39. Again, this was something that came in that Target master case palette that I got from Wholesale Ninjas. I sold through 6 of them, and then I found 1 hiding in a death pile, and so we got it listed, and it sold again overnight. So all of those sold super fast at this price point. I found this in a death pile. It was a Star Wars lightsaber room light. It's one of those lightsabers that you just hang on the wall, and it's just for lighting. I actually found 2 of them in a death pile. This one was the Darth Maul edition. So the Luke Skywalker one sold for $37.89, and the Darth Maul one sold for $49.98. I'm glad I got a lot of this stuff out of the death piles. That just goes to show you have money sitting there and you didn't even realize it sometimes. There's another water pick sold for $30.29. Oh, here's a purchase from a subscriber. Thank you guys so much for shopping my store. If you are a subscriber, please let me know in the notes somewhere so that I can thank you when I ship the item. I really appreciate every time you guys make a purchase with me. This one was a water blaster that was in my death pile. So it's one of those water guns that actually mounts to the front of your bicycle. It sold for $23.64, and it sold within a matter of hours. It's definitely the season for water guns, that's for sure. There's another set of 2 Zuru Smasher little toys, sold on best offer for $13. There's another water pick sold for $30.29. And then as I'm scrolling, you guys can also kind of see some of the other items that sold, but a lot of those are pretty typical of the things that I normally sell. That's why I'm just kind of focusing on the death pile stuff, because that stuff has been neglected to be listed for so long, and so it's not things that you guys see that I sell every single month. Another water pick sold for $30.29. Here's another Kristen S titanium flat iron. This one sold on best offer for $38. So again, these kind of things, these were open box. They did not appear to be used. And so they were just sold as open box and tested. So like we tested to make sure that they were working. Now, that's not to say that everything that we tested worked out, because definitely didn't happen that way. There were plenty of items that we tried to test and they ended up just not working, or they wouldn't get hot. Or things were just maybe too damaged, and so they ended up just getting tossed. But everything that did work got listed, and a lot of them have sold. Like this Hot Tools signature 3¼ inch curling wand sold for $30.50. I did sell a few of these Fit Kicks. These were kind of in a death pile, kind of not. I had a box of shoes that I was waiting to get listed. They were just kind of on the back burner for a while. These were really fun shoes. They're kind of like silicone slip-on shoes. I don't know if you guys remember those shoes where they had like the toes. You know what I'm talking about? Those shoes that had the little holders for your toes, like they were toe socks, but they were shoes. These reminded me of those, except they didn't have the individual toes, but they were the same kind of, like they fit on like an actual sock and they had a hard sole. So I sold a lot of these kind of shoes around the $10 price point. I think I have a few more left available for sale. Oh, this one was a good one. A set of 2 Argan Natural Cocoa Repairing Shampoo and Conditioner sold for $43.68. Sold a Mickey Mouse beach towel for $10. There's another one of those shoes. See, there's one of those Revlon teal volumizers sold for $24 on best offer. There's another water pick sold on best offer for $25. There's another one of those shoes. This one's a little bit different, sold for $22.48. Here's a Burt's Bees variety pack sold on best offer for $16.50. There's another one of those shoes, another teal volumizer sold on best offer for $29. Oh, this buyer bought a few different things for me. They bought a Butter London Cuticle Balm, a Throat Calm Lozenge Pack, Maybelline Mascara Set. Here's another Maybelline Mascara Set and Visine Allergy Eye Relief. So they bought all of them together for a total of $34.50 on best offers. That might be... well, almost. I was going to say that might be it for the death pile stuff, but then here was another one, an Infinity Pro ceramic. It's another one of those stylers, the silicone styles, but this one has the 1.5 inch and the 2 inch brush. They bought all 3 of the ones that I had in stock for a total of $111.54. It's a Finishing Touch Flawless Hair Removal Device, sold for $14.77. This person ended up sending me a best offer on 4 2-packs of these Joy the Refills razor cartridges. So they bought 4 sets for $44. There's another Revlon Pro in teal for $33.46. Another water pick for $41.83. You see here, I was crazy to leave all this stuff sitting in the death pile. Do you hear all of the numbers that I'm giving you guys for these death pile items? $30 here, $40 here, $28 here. I don't know what I was thinking. Don't know what I was thinking. You know, here was another one of the death pile items. It was a Philips Sonicare Protective Clean 4100 electric toothbrush. It was open box, so it sold for a little less money. It sold for $30.88. There's another volumizer for $33.46. There's another epilator. So I only have 2 of those epilators from Wholesale Ninjas left. That one sold for $25.57. There's another one of those Revlon hair stylers sold on best offer for $19. There's another Revlon styler sold for $25.93. And these were lightweight too. These might be the ones that were only 1 pound, so they went first class. These might be the 2-pound ones, I'm not sure. But there were some hair stylers that were like 14, 15 ounces, and so when you put them in an oversized poly bag, they were still under 15.9 ounces, which means I was still able to ship them first class, which saved a lot of money on shipping. There's another Curl Secret, sold for $28.72. Another volumizer. So this person bought 4 of them on best offer. They bought 4 for $96 even. There's another one of those Neutrogena body oils. Sold a lot of those this month too. I think I had 4 of them and they all sold last month. This one sold for $13.93. All right, now I think that's it for the death pile stuff. Oh, these are discontinued, so they sold for good money. I had a couple of different lots of these. They're the clear Scalp and Hair Total Nourishing Shampoo. I also had shampoo and conditioner sets, so someone bought 2 of the shampoos for $30, and then someone ended up buying shampoo and conditioner set for, I want to say, a little more than that. We'll probably see it when we scroll down. Let's see, there's another Curl Secret sold for $30.88. I started selling a lot of hair color again. So that was interesting. I sold a whole bunch of hair color back in March and April 2020 when the pandemic first began and hair salons were closed. Sold a lot of hair color. I started selling a lot of hair color again, so I'm not sure if something has happened regarding that. And then there's just a lot of the same stuff that I'm always showing you guys. I'm trying to pick out, I can never seem to get through the entire month, so I'm trying to scroll through and pick out the stuff that maybe we haven't seen before. Let's go scroll a little bit on the next page, but I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up because it's a lot of the same stuff. Most of the exciting stuff that I sold towards the end of the month because that's when we really started digging into the death pile stuff. There's a Banana Boat Deep Tanning Lotion sold for $17.89. There's another epilator, another Banana Boat Deep Tanning Lotion. Oh, there we go. There is the shampoo and conditioner set. So the shampoo and conditioner set sold for $31.39. And I think I had 2 lots and they are completely sold out now. Oh, yep, there's the other one. That one sold on best offer for $28. And I officially sold out of all of those Cream Shop turmeric face masks. So I was selling them in lots of 12. I had so many of them. And this last person bought the final 3 lots that I had for best offer of $40.50. I want to say I had like 12 or 13 lots and they have finally all sold out. And then I did sell a lot of cosmetics because we were working on listing a whole bunch of cosmetics before we moved on to the larger death pile stylers and water picks. We have not yet worked through all of the razors yet. I think that's pretty much the only part of the death piles that we still need to list. Yep, so it looks like we're getting back towards the beginning of May. I will definitely make sure to link a playlist of the other sold videos if this is the first one that you are catching and you want to see some of the previous months. And I think that pretty much wraps it up for a lot of these items that sold. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and videos like it, please do give it a thumbs up. That way I know it. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. And don't forget to check the video description because I will put a lot of useful information in there for you guys. Thank you again so much for watching and I'll see you with my next video. Bye-bye.